Hello, everybody. Welcome to Saturday, February 6th for our weekly update.
Update time.
Yep. We thought we'd start off by talking about how the kids are doing.
Yeah. So Holly did like a bereavement workshop through the hospital. And so normally it'd be in person, but they were online. And so she did like 3 weeks in a row. And yeah, I think it was kind of a good experience for her. You know, she didn't say too much about it. But they kind of had like an activity each week and talked about feelings and
Yeah. I think
I think mostly just to see other people her age, you know, that have also had a recent loss.
Yeah.
I think is just good.
And I think it's good to like the way that they are remembering Ethan. I feel like all of their memories are positive. Not that they were all positive, but they are choosing to remember positive ones.
Yeah, like right after Ethan died, like a lot of her comments were like about Ethan were really snarky, and I feel like that's really kind of toned down. And
yeah,
you know, most of her comments now about Ethan are good memories. Like, oh, Ethan would like this, and she says it in a sweet tone or a sincere tone.
Yeah.
So I think that's good.
Yeah.
You know, Judah's memories are pretty
Comical.
Yeah, you know, he's like, well, Ethan cheated at checkers. Well, Ethan liked to cheat at checkers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Ethan liked to stay up late. Well, yeah, he did. And, you know, so. Yeah.
So.
I think they're doing okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So the focus of our video today is a year ago this time. Was a really fun weekend for Ethan and I. I was really skeptical when Stephanie had planned it for us.
Signed him up, paid for it.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you like, I'm doing what, but okay.
So I signed him up for like the father-son camp. It's in Santa Cruz through Mount Hermon, and Ethan's birthday is always during President's Day weekend, and so, you know, we usually had some like adventure that we went on that just coincided with Ethan's birthday. It wasn't really for his birthday. And you know, birthday parties in general are
hard for Ethan.
Yeah, and so it's like, you know, he likes the idea of it, but the reality of a birthday party
there's just so much stimulation that
it just kind of balloons out of control. And so we like, so Ethan, how about you go to camp? And so we sold him on camp, and my other like back thought was like, you know, if he's supposed to go to like outdoor camp with his school, like we better start practicing because there's no way that's just gonna happen. So I thought, well, this would be a father-son camp would be a good like first, you know, sleeping in a bunkhouse and eating in the mess hall and things like that.
So I took the day off on the Friday, and we drove down to Santa Cruz, and we went and visited the mission, and
they were studying missions in 4th grade, and so his mission was actually Santa Barbara, but it worked enough to be Santa Cruz. So.
Right. Well, it gave him some understanding, and you know, you go inside the mission and you go into different parts, and so you know, it was really nice to just have that time to be together, talking in the car and going and getting a special treat at the gas station, like big deal, right?
Yeah.
And then we'd get to the place, and we were like the first people there, and there are like 100 dads, but you know, I wanted to make sure we didn't hit any traffic going through San Jose.
Check-in was like at 5 at night, like at dinner time, but Joey knew if like
I am not gonna hit San Jose traffic going into that Santa Cruz corridor.
Yeah, so they got there way early.
Yeah, which was fine because Ethan and I we talked, and we went and explored, and then we found our bunk room, and other people, you know, started showing up, and you know, you start to get a feel for things, and then once we started getting into our group, and
they were the orange group.
Oh man, and we had a blast. I mean, you know, sometimes you go into something you've never done before and you have hesitations, and you come out of it and it just blows you away. And we just had a blast between the activities that they had. They had, a couple like children's church style services that were very oriented. There's a little bit of character drama that are enacting so that they're setting up fathers to have these discussions with their kids and singing and
Games.
Yeah.
Kind of a club style.
Yeah, a Young Life Club style kind of stuff. And it was just, it was good because having those conversations when it's all on you is sometimes intimidating. But to be placed in an environment where you have those prompts and you can say, okay, right now you're going to go for a walk and you're going to talk about these things and have these questions.
Like a little journal that they, like devotional things that they did. And
yeah.
And then like Saturday during the day, it was all like, team building, ropes course, archery,
yeah,
boy stuff. And
in February, he went swimming in Santa Cruz.
Not surprised by that.
Yeah, and he had a blast. He had absolute blast. And we were talking about camp for months afterwards.
Yeah, they came home and it was like the total, camp high.
Yeah.
And Joey was just, he looked like he'd come home from Young Life Camp, as a 16-year-old.
Straight out of Woodleaf.
And he had his bandana and he wore it. Like Joey carried around his bandana for another week because he was so into it. And they had a bandana color, so they were orange, and so their bandana was orange. And
what keeps the scurvy away? Orange!
Oh, they had all sorts of stuff that, was really campish.
Yeah, it was. And Ethan was in hog heaven with, the buffet style breakfast. That kid, that was like, Dad.
Jelly packet.
Dad.
How was camp? Mom, they had jelly packets.
So, it's like we had so much fun that weekend, and that was, a big event. And looking back, I think what a blessing that was for me to take that opportunity to have that time with Ethan. And, I'm so thankful that I didn't pass it off and brush it off and say, no,
I don't want to drive down there.
I don't want to go all the way to Santa Cruz. That's a long way. And, I don't like new things in general, right? And so...
There's a reason I signed Joey up. I'll stay home.
I'll stay home with the kids. You take Ethan to Santa Cruz. And I am so thankful. And so it prompts me even more to take time out of our schedule and do those things with the kids that you might not think are a big deal.
Right. And I just think spiritually, that was such a good, solid experience for Ethan.
Yeah.
And, going into his hospital, it's he had a good foundation of his faith, between Awana and church and just, the influence of his family.
Yeah.
And this camp experience, it's he was ready
yeah.
for this fall in a way. And so in all of this, I feel like you see God at work, preparing
us and him
for, being sick. And, it's hard. It's I think, well, where is God in all of this sadness? Where's God when a 10-year-old kid has cancer? And it's
he was here.
Yeah, he's right in the middle of it. And he's been there the whole time, I feel systematically preparing
us all.
And Ethan for this. And this is just one example of, something that was definitely outside of, it was the first time they've done any sort of camp thing. Yeah. And we don't really have any connection to Mount Hermon other than, I knew it was a quality place.
Yeah.
And Ethan fit the age group and the timeline was his birth. It was just...
It all came together.
Yeah.
As Mike Hutchison would say, only God can do that.
Yeah. So anyway, the video is of Ethan's weekend at father-son camp.
Yeah.
Complete with jelly packets and swimming.
I made sure to get as much as I could for staff.
So, anyway, we hope you enjoy it because he had a good weekend.
Yeah.
I think it's also interesting because it's like, you know, these pictures of him in February, like, there's no sign of, like, he seems like a healthy, bright kid.
Yeah.
And then, you know, as our photos kind of progress through the spring, like, you can kind of just see a change in him. And, you know, looking back, like, and we're looking for it, it seems a little more obvious. Like, at the time, you know, we didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
But it's like, in February, like, he really was fine. Like, he's holding the bow and arrow, and
Yeah.
he's using 2 hands with his jelly packets, and
Right.
his eyes are bright and everything. So
Yeah.
I think this was,
It was a really good weekend
yeah.
for Ethan. So we hope you enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in with us every week. Ethan service, February 15th. It's coming up soon.
Yeah, there's a 40% chance of rain.
35.
Well, my phone said 40, so you should check.
So pray for no rain.
No rain.
Till next time.
Through every storm of life, I know you're by my side. So I am holding on to your promises. You are the God who holds my future, all my dreams. So I am holding on. You never let go of me. You gave me hope when hope was all but gone. A second chance to sing a brand new song. You opened up my eyes to see. You rescued me, rescued me. You showed the way when there was no way out. Cleared up my mind when you